Football is back. Let's talk about it. Welcome back, Raider Nation and my champions. It's Eric. Once again, we are back live, this time on Labor Day. I hope you had a nice, good, long weekend. I want to say hello to everybody out there filing in to the live stream. Hello. If you're watching this on a replay, why not subscribe to the channel so you can be here live with us, including live chat if you so inclined. I want to say, yeah, people are just starting to file in here. That would be the link. It is the pinned comment, of course, if you are watching this live. Otherwise, welcome to the program. This is what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to be talking about our schedule predictions 2.0. Now, the last time we did this was in May. We're going to be doing this, like I said, right before the season starts. I'm going to give you my predictions. I'm going to let you guys have your predictions as well. We're going to talk a little bit about the cut downs and who got cut and who got kept. A couple little surprises, nothing big though, I would say. And then we're going to have a little Q&A session and talk with you guys about this as well. Again, Raider Dangerfield, love that name. How you doing? Salute to you too, sir. Of course, once we get to the Q&A section, I do have that as a pinned comment. If you do want to come on, it's through restream.io. Of course, as you can see there, you click on that link in the pinned comment. Basically go into the green room. You don't have to be on camera. Of course, we can talk Raider football if you want. And of course, week 1 coming up against those Denver Donkeys. All right. So if you are new to the program, got a few people in here already. If you are new to the program, this is how we normally do it. We have what we call the rundown here. This is our board of the topics we're going to be discussing tonight. Of course, we're going to talk about you guys, the champions. Of course, our Raider poll of the week. If you did not catch that one, I will get you enlightened on that and show you what the results were. And then we're going to dive into this schedule 2.0. I will show you my picks before and after, and I have made some changes, so be looking forward with that. And then also the cut down review, give you some updates on the channel as well, and kind of what we did during the preseason. If you were not here for that, I will talk about that as well, and then turn it over to you for some question and answers. So let's get to this right now, and that is you guys, our channel.
I hear everyone say it, take what they give you. We're going to take what we want.
Yeah, I mean, thank you guys for coming out. I see a couple of you already in here, and of course those are our counts as far as subs and followers. We also are on TikTok and Facebook as well, if you can look that up at Raider Champion. We are kind of growing in those ones, but not so much in the YouTube. We've talked about that before. It is what it is. I will talk about that a little bit more in detail once we get to the channel updates, but I do appreciate you guys coming here, whether it is live right now or if you're watching this on a replay. Thank you for coming and subscribing to the channel. Now, of course, we always have a Raider poll of the week before our live streams, and it's usually pertaining to what we're going to talk about, and this one is no different. I asked you, after what we've seen in the preseason, how many wins do you think the Raiders are going to get today? Let's see. Hello? Wait a minute. Wow. It looks like, hang on, setting with the mic. There we go. You guys hear me now? Man, it was on the different stream. You guys should be able to hear me now. What is going on here? I don't know why it is so low. If you did hear me, it was probably very, very faint. You should be able to hear me right now, though. Yes, Raider poll of the week, of course. I wanted to ask you guys, after we've seen the 3 preseason games, how many wins do you think the Raiders are going to get this year? And, of course, Josh Jacobs signing that 1-year deal. I put 11 or more, 9 or 10, 7 or 8, or 6 or less. The majority of you said 9 or 10. Over half, almost 60% there. And then we had 6 or less. I would, of course, once we do our schedule predictions, I will give you each game and the total, of course. And why don't we do that right now? Let's do that right now. Let's take care of that business right now, shall we, guys? How you guys doing out there? Let me get my grid set up. Of course, we've done this. If you were here with us in May, we had done this wins and losses. I just put my predictions here. We'll go over yours as well once I do my predictions here. I put these in gray. These are the ones back in May. I have made some changes, and of course, I predicted us to go 9-8 back in May. I have a little bit of a change with that. And let's see what it says. Darth Raider, 6-7 wins max. Defense still atrocious. We didn't get better at quarterback, 10-11. So we're kind of all over the place. We are all over the place. That 60% though in the poll was 10 or 9 or 10 wins. That might be a little bit of optimism to the start of the season. You always kind of see a little bit of that. I am going to go game to game just like I did in May. And let's get to that right now. And of course, I said that we would finish at 9-8 right there. I will put myself back up here. So let's get to that week 1 matchup in Mile High against the Denver Donkeys. Let's see. Let's see. Raider Dangerfield said, he said 10-11. He says his reasoning is the improvement of the defense. It still isn't top 10, but isn't bottom 20. That being said, it should translate to 3 or 4 more wins. It's possible. It's possible. I'm not so sure about that. I will, of course, give you my final prediction. Let's get to that week 1. I'll let you guys make any updates or changes to your predictions as well, especially Art. If you were not here in May, Art made a huge prediction. Art White made a huge prediction here in our Schedule 1.0 show. I will get to that after we're done here. Of course, let's get to week 1 at Denver. In May, I said this would be a win, week 1 win. I've been kind of back and forth here with this split. I've been kind of back and forth with this one, and I'm going to keep this one as a win. And this is why, guys. Kind of thinking about this. The week after is going to be in Buffalo. Now, they always say, we don't look at the schedule. It's week to week. Well, that's a bunch of bullshit. You know that. They're going to look at this and say, you know, we got a division rival. We can take them. The weather should be good mid-September there. We're not going to be in 10 feet of snow in Denver. We got Buffalo, an elite team, at their house. We do not want to start 0-2. Remember, we started 1-3 there the first 3 games. We don't want to get to that point again with this team. So I think we're going to pull out this win one way or the other. Let's see. Raider Dangerfield. Raider Dangerfield. You get me saying that now. Offense is still potent. Yes, to a point. Got a little bit of durability issues with Jimmy G. I don't think it's as potent as it was with Derek Carr as far as the downfield threat. I will say that. Aiden O'Connell, so far so good that we've seen in preseason. Of course, I think at some point we will see him start here in this season. I think it's kind of inevitable, especially with the we can't bank on Jimmy G lasting the whole season. We just can't. So, of course, week 2, Buffalo, I'm going to give that a loss. Of course, Buffalo is one of the best teams in the entire league. I don't think we're there yet, especially on the defensive side. I would say that I would agree with Darth Raider on that. I think as far as the defense goes in general, we're going to have to get to the quarterback. I think that's why we use the draft capital on Tyree Wilson. Because our secondary, especially the cornerback room, is no good. And it wasn't very good in this preseason as well, if you watch some of the games. But, of course, some of those are scrubs. They did have some starters here and there, but I am still not impressed with this. Of course, we'll talk about one of the surprise cuts, you could say, in our cuts. Let's see. Raider. How am I keep saying that? Raider Dangerfield has Josh Allen as his fantasy quarterback. You could do a lot worse. You could do a lot worse with that. I will say that right now. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Wrong button. It happens. It happens. Let's get to week 3, Sunday Night Football. Our first actual, still covered up there. Our first actual home game. Remember, we haven't played at home since the very first week of preseason. We've had 2 games on the road, of course. Our first game against the Niners. Then we played the Rams and Dallas on the road. And we're going to play our first 2 real games on the road. And we're going to be hosting the Steelers Sunday Night Football. I mean, guys, if we can't win this game, I mean, the Steelers, I would say they're still a pretty solid team. I think Najee Harris could give us a matchup issue because I think we might be struggling a little bit to stop the run this year. Kenny Pickett, to me, the jury's still out on that kid. But again, with our cornerback room, a guy like George Pickens could really exploit it. But I think this could be something where Josh Jacobs, now remember, you got to take this into account. Josh Jacobs did sign that 1-year deal, almost $12 million, likely going to be gone after this year. To me personally, I don't think they're going to get another contract here going. And you heard a lot of smoke about the contention there, trying to negotiate a contract after they place a franchise tag on him. So this could be a game. This is a primetime game. I think Josh Jacobs could go off in this game against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense and help him get a nice little fat contract next season. And that's why I have us right now. Let's get to week 4 at SoFi Stadium against those Chargers. I'm going to keep that as a loss. Chargers are a really good team. I said this last time. I'm going to say it again. They were really kind of snake bitten with some injuries last season that kind of hampered them. They still have Brandon Staley as coach. He sucks. But still, they got a lot of talent on that team. I don't think they can get bit twice on that. Rashawn Slater is a stud. He got hurt last year. I take that as a loss, getting us to 2-2. Linebacker room is bad. Don't really have anything at DT. Cornerbacks have gotten better. I agree with the first 2. I think you're going to have to bank on Marcus Peters not being past his prime, and we've done this before in the history of the Raiders, picking up these good players past their prime, and they're basically not performing. And of course, with Duke Shelley, we'll talk about that in a minute. He's not here anymore, so I don't know. I really think we're going to have to get to the quarterback to win games on defense. The only good thing in the defense are the edge rushers, yes. Art is here. Art is here. We're going to see if he's going to double down on that prediction once we get to your guys' prediction. He says our win count will come down to the red zone defense and red zone offense. Not so worried about the offense than the defense. I think we're going to be leaky inside at defensive tackle. I don't think we really addressed it. We actually dropped a couple of players this regime picked up in the draft. I know there were mid to late round picks, but still not a good sign. Of course, going into year 2. And let's get to the next one. Green Bay Packers. Monday Night Football, another primetime game we're going to host, of course, with the venue of Vegas and that new stadium. Hopefully they fixed the roof. If you hadn't heard, they had some torrential rain in Vegas and had a leak in the roof already. I don't know how you do that on basically nearly a brand new stadium, but hopefully that will be good to go. I don't think they're going to get a whole lot more rain, knock on wood, but I'm going to keep this one as a win. Aaron Rodgers has moved on, of course, with the Jets. I'm not worried about Jordan Love. He did have a pretty good preseason, but to me, he's going to have to show it against the real players. So I'm going to keep that as it is. And right now, I got us going 3-2. Am I crazy? We're going to go play the Patriots again. I'm going to keep this as a win again. We're going to stay at home again. I am not impressed with Mac Jones. I said it last year before the game. He looked like crap in that game. Of course, we didn't look much better. Jacoby Myers basically gave us a game. Chandler Jones, his biggest play of the year, guy throwing the ball right to him. But that said, I'm not impressed with Mac Jones. I know they got Zeke Elliott to back up Ramondre. That could be a bit of a problem, but they're going to have to throw the ball at some point. I could see some turnovers there. I could see Max Crosby getting in his face and maybe getting a pick six for Marcus Peters, a little crotch grab right here. Maybe that'll be my prediction. There we go. Week 6 crotch grab. Okay, let's get to the Chicago Bears in Soldier Field. I'm going to keep this one as a loss. We're going to go to 4-3, which is not bad considering we were 7-10 last season. I think this is the year for Jordan Fields to kind of break out. Not to say that the Bears are great. DJ Moore is going to be hell for us. If you don't know, he is with Chicago now, and I mean, he caught it in the preseason. He caught like a 2-yard pass and took it like 80 yards. So that's going to be a terrible matchup for us. I'm going to be a little concerned at this point if Jimmy Garoppolo is even playing at this point. He's not hurt. I know Aiden O'Connell has looked good in preseason, but again, it's preseason. And I mean, even Peyton Manning had a rough rookie season, and he's one of the all-time greats. So it's going to take a little bit of a learning curve with him, even if he works out as our future QB1. Let's go to the Lions Monday night at Ford Field. I've still got this one as a loss. Lions have really kind of done well in that Stafford-Goff trade, kind of building up both sides. Basically stole Aiden Hutchinson, and I think they're going to be on display there. This could be a situation where Jimmy G could get hurt. They have a pretty decent pass rush. I'm just saying, I don't want it to happen, but I got to be realistic in these predictions, and that's going to get us to 500, 4-4. And we're going to go to the Giants game. I know, let's see. I love the Kip. There's a reason why he went in the 4th. So far, so good. So far, so good. Remember, Tom Brady was 199th, so they get it wrong sometimes too. So I am optimistic to this point from what I have seen in the preseason. Of course, it is preseason. Pump the brakes just a little bit, but so far so good. So far so good from the kid. The Giants I had as a loss in May. I'm going to keep this one as a loss. I think with Dable, Daniel Jones is going to kind of blossom here. They did get Barkley back. I think the Giants are going to be one of the surprise teams in the league, to be honest with you. Let's see. Dallas is there. Of course, Philly is the top of the division, of course, the NFC representative in the Super Bowl last year. But I'm not going to take anything away from the Giants here. This could be a game where the Raiders give up 3 or 4 touchdown passes because we're just gonna be off in the secondary, and we're not gonna be able to catch up. That's what I'm kind of thinking here. I'm gonna get to the Jets game here. So we're back at home 2 weeks in a row, hosting both New York teams, or New Jersey teams, as you would. I'm gonna keep this one as a win. I know Aaron Rodgers is there. But the Jets are a little tough. I know I think the predictions in May, you guys had this one flipped. You had the Giants win and Jets loss. That could happen. I'm going to keep this as a win, though. We're going to finally break that 3-game streak. I mean, a lot of people are going to be screaming at McDaniels at that point. I think we can get it. It's going to be at home. We're going to want to have it before we go on the road against a high-powered offense in the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, Brado, it doesn't matter. Yeah. We'll see. It's what he's got above the neck. So far, like I said, Art, Art was praising him since before the draft. We had our mock drafts here in March and April. So far, so good. I cannot dispute that so far. I think we will see him starting at some point this year. Let's get to Miami. It's going to be at Miami mid-November. Still going to be kind of humid, guys. And that high-powered offense, I'm going to assume Tua is still going to be playing. You got Waddle there, of course, Tyreek Hill. How the hell are we going to stop those two with this secondary? I don't see it happening, to be honest with you. And, yeah, I think that's going to be a loss for us. Now, also, one other thing, we could be looking ahead again. Like I said, we play one game at a time. Everybody knows that's bullshit. They're going to be looking at this one right here. And I had it as a win last time. You can call me crazy. I'm going to keep that one as a win, and this is why. Again, they're going to be looking at the schedule. They're going to see this next one. Let me remove my head here. Week 16 at Kansas City on Christmas Day, Monday Night Football, national audience. Might be some snow there. That is going to be a hell of a game for us to try to win on the road against, of course, defending champs. Obviously, one of the best teams in the league and a division rival. I think they're going to go into this first game at home, November 24th, and they're going to give it everything they can to win this game and not get swept by the Chiefs. And that's how I have it so far. I've got us going 6-6 into week 13, the bye week. Can't lose that week, right? Darth Raider says, if and when Jimmy gets hurt, I don't want to see Hoyer out there. Yes. 1,000% agree with this. 1,000%. There's no use for Hoyer except as a number 3 quarterback. At this point, I know he knows the system, but we got to see what O'Connell has. And I is it a real prediction to say that Jimmy G is going to get hurt this year? Come on. Look at the track record. So we're going to be 6-6 heading into that bye week. A nice win against the division rival, the Chiefs. Going to be hosting the Vikings, and I'm going to keep this one as an L, guys. Again, another loss, another offense that can throw the ball around. Of course, Justin Jefferson, they got that rookie as well. And of course, Hawkinson that they picked up last year in a trade from division rival Detroit. How are we going to stop this? Again, the linchpin for this defense, the way it's set up, we're going to have to get to the quarterback early and often. The pass rush is going to have to be unbelievable, especially against teams like this, these high-powered defenses or offenses, rather. And again, we're going to be having a nice high, winning that Chiefs game, getting through the bye week. I think we're going to have a little bit of a letdown there. And we're going to get into week 15, short week, of course. The Chargers have a short week as well. 4 days later, Thursday night football. I'm going to keep this one as a win. We have us basically splitting this year. If you can see up there, week 4. Plus, I think the Chargers played the Chiefs in week 14. So that's going to be a hell of a game for them. They might be worn out. Even if they can beat the Chiefs there, they might be worn out. And we're not going to want to get swept by the Chargers. It's going to be in our house. And I think we will defend the house and go to 7-7. Wow, are we going to get a winning record here again? 9-8 I had last time. Of course, this one is academic. Why even talk about it? I mean, I hope they win week 16, but I mean, realistically speaking, that is a hell of a mountain to climb. Any way you slice it. We'll get to Art White's predictions in a minute once we get to your guys' predictions. So I got us going down there as 7-8. Let's get to those Colts. Anthony Richardson. A lot of people wanted him drafted by the Raiders. A lot of Raider Nation. ended up on the Colts. Who knows? He might have it together by then. We will see. Let me scroll this down. New Year's Eve, of course, December 31st. And I'm going to still give us a win here. It's going to be at home. I think we're going to want to bounce back against it's going to be a hell of a tough game against the Chiefs. And frankly, I don't think the Colts are going to look that great. Like I said, it's very rare that a rookie quarterback comes out and is awesome. Look back even at some of the all-time greats, Elway, Manning. They've had their struggles in their first year, kind of getting up to game speed, figuring it out. I know he can run with the ball as well, but I think we pulled this one out. And who knows what's happening with Jonathan Taylor at this point? Another disgruntled running back. And we're going to get to this finale. I had it as a loss. They don't have the date set because, that last week they moved games around, all that crap. I'm going to keep this one as a loss again. I think we split with Denver. Sean Payton, way better coach than Hackett. And I think they kind of get it together. I'm expecting Javonte Williams to be at least halfway decent by then. That's another thing with the week 1 opener. Of course, he's coming off that ACL, MCL, PCL, CBS, NBC, Fox injury of his knee. But I think by this point in the season, he's going to return to that mantle as the number 1 running back in the Broncos room. And Samanje will be kind of relegated to giving him a breathers at this point. And he's a tough guy. He's a tough stud to bring down and everything else. Kind of like Josh Jacobs. He has the moves. We'll see how that knee holds up. But it also has the power. And I think for once, congratulations, Donkeys. For once, you finally beaten the Las Vegas Raiders. Of course, they have never beaten the Las Vegas Raiders. As of now, the last time they've won against the Raiders, they were in Oakland, of course. Bill Brassey says, glad to see you back, homeboy. Glad to be back, Bill. And I will talk a little bit more about that and the future for the channel as well. But I want to get to your guys' predictions. Let's see. I'm going to get out of here because I want to talk to you guys. These are your predictions, of course. In May, 7-10, you had it predicted. We just did this on consensus with the exception right here. If you take a look at this right here, Art made a hell of a prediction here. He said back then, he predicts a win here in Kansas City with Aiden O'Connell as the starting quarterback on Christmas. And I'm going to say it again. If that comes to fruition, you've won the predictions. I don't care if you get the rest of them wrong. That would be a hell of a prediction to make and to get. All right, so I got it right here. Do you guys want to make any changes here? How about week 1, Denver? I've got this one swapped. You guys still have the split. And you guys have this one split, the swap too. I have this one as a loss and this one as a win against those pesky little Chargers. Very kind of similar. We have this one mixed. You guys have us losing to the Patriots. I really don't see that happen. The Patriots aren't very good, especially at quarterback. You have us winning at Soldier Field. Almost near Halloween time, the weather could be a little funky there, especially wind. Our White says, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So any changes you guys want to make to this, you guys have us going at 7-10. Oh, I didn't update it. So overall, I moved it from 9-8 to 8-9. I think 9-8 was a little optimistic. To be honest, I think 8-9 is probably right. 7 or 8 wins this year. That's what I would be saying. Do you guys want to move it up, move it back? I know a lot of you picked 9 or 10 wins, and I see 7-10 here. So if you guys still think we're gonna win 9 or 10 or get 9 or 10 wins, I need to know where to change those L's to W's. So Let's see. Let's see. If I was going to change one, if I were you guys, definitely this one. That's a tough one. This is a tough one. I think Detroit's going to be pretty good, and it's away. We don't play very good away. Maybe this one. I mean, if we're gonna beat the Chiefs, it's got to be here. And I think they're going to be really up for this game. That's why I still got it as a W. Art sees us winning the Vikings and the Giants game. Now, they got the Giants here, so you want to move this one to a W? Let's see. Well, if I can type W. There we go. That gets it to 8 and 9. And the Patriots, yeah. I agree with the Patriots. That's why I had... that mystique is gone. If you look at the last few drafts with Bill Belichick, not much there. Let's be honest. I'm not. Of course, they got Ramondre Stevenson late, a guy I wanted a couple years back, 3 years back, 2 years back. I wanted Damian Pierce, didn't get him either. Well, it is what it is, and now we're going to be having to look for a starting running back next year. I'm going to say that right now, because I don't think Zamir White is the guy. Personally, I think we lose to both New York teams. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, boy. We got a little debate here, a little discussion. So what say you? Vote, and my Christmas present. I still got it there. Everybody else says it's a loss. I say it's a loss. I think Art was the only one with the win here. And we'll see. Again, I think I think that is gonna be a heck of a pull there, Art. If they pull it out, the defending Super Bowl champions facing a division rival at home on Christmas Day, national TV coverage. Do you really think they're gonna want to lose that game? I don't think so. Denver says we beat Denver, lose to. Do you think we're gonna sweep Denver, Darth Raider? Because they got it. You guys had it winning here. I've got this one as a win and this one as a loss, because they are going to be looking at the schedule, and this is going to be a heck of a game to try to win. How the hell are they going to stop the Bills? They still got Stephon Diggs. James Cook is there. I'm not sure, but if he's a full-time running back, but he's hella dynamic, and we have a problem with running backs in the flat. Also, Gabe Davis. Now, a lot of people shitting on Gabe Davis. Last year, he was injured after a couple weeks, and he just was not the same player. Apparently, he is back 100%. I could see a couple touchdowns to Gabe Davis in this game, week 2. I think it's going to be very, very difficult, and we do not travel very well to the East Coast, of course, as you guys all, I'm sure, know. So I definitely have this one as a loss, and I know that they're looking at that, and they don't want to start 0-2. They're going to do, and the weather should be fine in Denver. They say, oh, it's the mile high and, the altitude. A lot of people don't know Las Vegas is at about 2,500 feet, about half of that. So they're not at sea level anymore. They've not to say it's mile high, of course, but it is not sea level either. So let's see. Darth Raider says, same as you, we win week 1, lose week 17. I'll just leave it as is then, because it's basically a wash. I mean, you could bounce those either way. But I can't see this team wanting to go 0-2. They're not good enough to beat Buffalo. Could they beat them? They can beat anybody at any week. Anybody can lose or win at any week. I know that, but realistically speaking, we're not good enough to beat Buffalo yet. We're just not. And I know they don't want to go 0-2. Here we go again. And it's going to be another tough season. So anyway, any other changes you want to make on this one? I know Darth Raider wants to put an L here. Get you to 8 and 9. Could it be? Could it be? You guys were at 7 and 10 in May. We did this 1.0. We're going to do this again. We usually do it on the bye week. We'll probably do it on the bye week again since we won't have any football week 13. Just take a look at how we've done so far if we want to make any changes. And then at the end of the season, we go through this again and see who was right and who was wrong as far as these predictions go. And gotta say, guys, last 2 years, I think we know who won those predictions. Just saying, guys. Just saying. So, yeah, I got us at 8 and 9 as well. So going once, going twice. I will keep your side bet prediction right here, Art. Win with AOC starting at quarterback in KC on Christmas night. Probably going to be snow. Definitely going to be cold as hell there at that point in Kansas City. Oh, man. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. We will play Buffalo tough, though. Really? I don't know about that. I do not know about that. Were we going to lose 50-40 or something? Is that what you're thinking? Because I don't see us stopping that offense at all. We're going to be playing catch up the whole time. And I know everybody likes Jimmy G, the win-loss record, but look at his stats. Is he the type of quarterback that can win games for you? I don't think so. I know a lot of people used to call Derek Carr check down Charlie. His air yards are more than Jimmy G's in his career. Jimmy G has had the benefit of being in a much better team. For the most part, a much better running game and definitely a better defense to lean on. So he didn't have to do quite as much. But with a team like this against our secondary, he's going to have to throw like crazy. I mean, Devontae's going to have to make some moves to win this game. Good. I hope it's snowing in KC. We will be back on, and I will talk about the channel as far as the updates go, and I will get to that. This is what I'm going to do. Normally, I would come on last year and the year before. I came on like on Fridays, had a game review, and gave like the things I thought we needed to do. And then at halftime, I would come on for about 10 or 15 minutes and talk. This season, I don't know if I'll be able to do every game, but I will be here live or be here live during the games. I cannot show the games here. Okay. I do have a TikTok, and I did kind of show the Dallas game. I can only stay till about halftime. Had something else going on, but I kind of did it on the slide, no problem. So if you want to come to TikTok and watch the game with me, otherwise you can see me talk about the game here on YouTube. But I would say it'd probably be more beneficial to go to TikTok at Raider Champion, of course. So that's going to be the format this season. Of course, I've talked about the channel and not growing here on YouTube and trying new things, and that's one of the things I'm going to do because TikTok, when I did that, I had 400 or 500 people in there at one point. So just no comparison. TikTok doesn't want you to be a corporation, doesn't need you to have 100,000 subs for them to care about you. You put stuff out, people start coming, they will give you more and more people, the way it should be. Here, YouTube, they fucking suck. They're all about the corporations. They're all about making their money. And any of the little guys, if you're going to want to start a channel, even on Tiddlywinks, I would advise against going on YouTube. I would try another platform. That is my 2 cents on that. Also, I said I also do a separate channel doing games. That channel is kind of taken off big time. I have over 3,600 followers there. I have a bunch of subscribers there on TikTok as well. That's going to be taking the majority of my time, obviously, because that's successful. And frankly, guys, I like you guys. I love coming out here and doing this, but I can't put as much time as I have in the past with this other project going on. That's really kind of taking off right now. So let's see. So I will be basically live. I will be here live on YouTube during games. I was doing the audio here on the last preseason game, and I didn't get into any troubles with the YouTube on that. I think I'll still do that. Have the audio here and have the video on TikTok. So if you want to do that, you can come watch the game with me. Of course, I'm sure you guys will have it on the TV as well. The preseason games were a pain in the butt to try to find. The regular season games a lot easier to find. So that said, I want to just talk briefly about the final 53-man roster. I did talk about this before the Dallas game started. That's another thing with TikTok. They're very upfront. They don't really care about this kind of stuff. They were pissing and moaning that I was showing the depth chart and I was predicting who I thought would be cut and who would stay. And I could make this a little bit bigger for you. I'm trying to show both before and after, of course, so bear with me. I can move it there. There we go. So this is before that I shared, and I just made a count to 53, and this is the final roster. But anyway, they're real fickle. That's kind of the drawback of TikTok. Basically, goldfish, feed me now, feed me, me. Not a huge kind of thing going on there. Now my games channel is different, more of a community, but fans, they just want to watch the game. It's like, shut up, I don't want to see you. Show me the game. And it's like, well, fuck you, go away. You know, give me the link. Well, go find it yourself. You know, why are you here? If you don't want to watch it here, go somewhere else. So anyway, here's the depth chart, of course. And, of course, I said Garbers wouldn't make it. Of course, he wasn't going to make it, but they cut him out right. I thought he would at least make the practice squad. Down here, it didn't really phase. I didn't think anything of that. Whoop, it jumped on me. Hang on. Why did I jump that far? And then we kind of come down here. I thought Keelan Cole would make the team. He did not make the team. Of course, I had two here. Of course, Devontae's going to make it. And Wilkerson actually made the team. Now, I'm not going to count Zuber and Lacey are on IR. They're not technically part of the 53 roster. They're under a different category. Now, once they're they can come off of IR, I think, after week 4 or 6. Then they would have to make room on that 53-man roster for them. I don't think that's going to happen. I think, if anything, if that happens, they'll put them on the practice squad or outright cut them. So I'm not going to really count that, but Wilkerson made the actual 53-man roster team. Kind of a surprise. He did do well during preseason. I will give you that, but we've seen it time and time again here. Players doing well in preseason and not making it, you know. Let's see. Let's go to the next one. Hunter Renfrow, Trey Tucker. That was, of course, that was going to happen. Draft pick, Hunter Renfrow. What I said was these two and one of these guys would make it, and that's what happened. Horsted made it. Hollister was cut. Jakob, of course. They love keeping that fullback here. And the offensive line was a little bit more of a surprise for me, to be honest with you. Basically, I knew Alex Bars. I was glad he was cut. Val Roten, our free agent, formerly, I believe, Buffalo and Carolina, won the spot. I think he's a much better option. Alex Bars, very leaky there. I thought we would keep McClendon Curtis. That did not happen. So basically, if you look at this, we only have two real guards now. Meredith, maybe center guard right there. And, of course, Parham played center in college, could bounce back and forth there, but not a whole lot of offensive linemen here on the interior. Wagner was on the IR, so, of course, he's not blocked in there. That's why, but he's not going to be on a roster unless a ton of people are hurt, of course. Illuminor Munford, I think played his way, a 7th round pick the year before. I think he definitely played his way to a backup role. Definitely better than Brandon Parker. My goodness. So as far as the edge rushers, we'll go here left and right. No real surprise here. I was wondering if they might keep Kuntz. I don't know why I put 3 here. I figured we would keep 5 somewhere, 5 total edge rushers. We only kept 4. So that's kind of the only surprise. I wouldn't really call that a surprise, though. Neil Farrell Jr. traded to Kansas City. If you've not heard that, for a low-round pick. Matthew Butler, former draft pick, gone as well. Not looking so good on the new regime, of course, getting the people and not making it there. So, linebackers, Spillane looked okay during preseason. Had some decent plays against the run. We will see against the real deal, though. Like Darth Raider said, I think this linebacker room is a little up in the air for me. Didn't really address it in free agency, of course. I'm not going to count Spillane, and we could have had Perryman. I don't think he wanted to be here. Perryman went to Houston for like super cheap, and we got Spillane as his replacement. And let's go to the secondary. Of course, Sam Webb, trash. This one's kind of a surprise. Duke Shelley. Let's see, Paul Gaines. Yes. Mayer's looking pretty good. Even wearing Casper's old number. Kind of the same size. Of course, we've got to see how he does in the real games. But again, like AOC 4, so far so good. Duke Shelley was gone. I know a lot of people were lauding him. Oh, he's so great. We got Duke Shelley. Yeah. Didn't make their team. It didn't make the team. It kind of reminds me a couple years back with Willie Snead. Everybody's like, oh, Willie Snead. We got Willie Snead. Didn't make the team. Like, much ado about nothing, guys. Let's if we're going to talk about things, let's talk about real things, not create clickbait nonsense and drink fireballs. Let's talk about some serious stuff here. And Meek Robertson, I figured one of these two would be gone. Meek made it, though. I mean, how many small corners can you have? Of course, we did keep facing. He's a bigger guy. We got Marcus Peters, the veteran, of course. Hobbs. I'd like to see Hobbs more in the slot. They've kind of bounced him around. And then the secondary, no real surprise here. I thought Polamalu would be cut, even though he's had a pretty decent preseason. Another one of those Tanner Muse type cuts where they look good in preseason. They cut him anyway, but they kept him on the team. And of course, this is no surprise whatsoever. Of course, the special teams units and the returners were set up there and saved as part of the 53-man roster. Raiders, yes. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Where are you? There we go. And this thing is acting a little funny right now. There we go. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. If you guys want to chat, of course, if you want to chat, I do have it in the pinned comment. The link, it is on Restream, and there it is right there. Of course, go to the pinned comment, click it, put you in the green room. If you want to come on here, you don't have to be on camera, of course. If you want to chat, we can do that. If you're not, you can put your question and answer or questions into the regular chat, and I will get to those right now. Let's see where we are at. There we are. Good to see everybody out here, though. Of course, there is a restream, of course. So what say you? Like I said, I've kind of lowered my expectations to 8, 9. That might be a little optimistic. Let's be honest. Depending on what happens with Garoppolo, and if and when he gets hurt, and if what Aiden does in his place, I mean, this could be another long season, guys, of course. So But what say you? Put it in the comments. Of course, we are at 48 minutes into the program. I stay on for about an hour, of course. And, of course, our next time we will be on will be during the game. I'll probably come on maybe about 15, 20 minutes before game time starts. And we can talk a little bit about what I expect and what you expect in this game. Anything that we need to do, what we need to do to win this game on offense and defense, and then watch the game together and go over what happened. So let's see. I need a drink. Just iced tea, guys. You never know. But anyway, what say you, Raider Nation? Put your comments in the chat right now. We'll address those. If you want to go on Restream, it is on the pinned comment. You can go there. The link is in there. If you want to go there, let's see. All right. Anyway, so that's where we stand. That's where we stand as far as my updates to the schedule, my predictions, as well as yours. Not much changing, a little bit less optimistic. I think the season's going to be a little bit tougher on the defensive side. I think Patrick Graham's might not be with us after the season, especially if the wheels fall off. McDaniels is going to have to blame somebody. I am not very optimistic about this defense, aside from the edge rushing. And Tyree did play in that Dallas game. Honestly, kind of a mixed bag. Of course, he's a rookie and all that. I was pretty quick. It looks like the foot is doing okay. However, a lot of times it looked like he had his head down. He wasn't looking where the quarterback was, kind of running like literally around the quarterback. I know that can be coached. Maybe he had jitters his first pro game. We will see, but I think athletically speaking, he's got the talent. We will see how he does this year, and hopefully we can move on from Chandler Jones. To be honest, bit of a bust free agent there for us for this new regime. So anyway, we're almost at the hour. So if any of you do not have any questions, don't want to chat, that is fine. I will be back, of course. I will be back on Sunday for the game against Denver. Of course, I cannot show it here. If you want to watch it with me, I will put it on TikTok. I've got about 1,500 followers there. You can see it right there at Raider_champion. If you want to look me up on TikTok, follow. I will be there. You can watch the game with me there. I can't show it here. I've shown like 2 or 3 seconds of combine footage and they hit me with copyright. If I do that during a live stream, they will take it down and give me a strike automatically. So let's see. That said, it looks like we are good to go, guys. I am still optimistic to a point. I'm, of course, excited, just like everybody. It's not just Raider Nation. All football fans are excited to get some football back. Of course, things are starting to cool down a little bit, thank goodness, depending on where you're at. And get into the season and have some fun. I mean, that's why we watch the games. It's entertainment. We like the game of football, and hopefully the Raiders can turn the corner. Speaking of which, I did put a live poll out there. I will end this right now. Got 18 votes. Nice job, guys. I asked, what are your thoughts on season 2 of this regime? 83% of you has McDaniels turning the corner. 11% expect about the same. 5% the wheels fall off this year for McDaniels and company. Like I said, a lot of optimism, of course, in Raider Nation. And Like any sport does this as well. You know, right before the start of the season, we're all undefeated. We're going to go to the Super Bowl, baseball, the World Series, Stanley Cup, etc., whatever. I think some of that is there. I'm kind of looking at about the same, unless AOC is kind of on the fast track and is impressive his rookie year, which is unlike, even if he's good. And like I said, Peyton Manning threw a shit ton of interceptions his rookie year. Go look it up. And he's one of the all-time greats. So I'm going to temper my expectations, even if he is our future QB1. I'm going to temper my expectations for the 2023 season and look ahead to 2024 on that. I think the Raiders can compete at times. However, are they a Super Bowl contender? Obviously not. That defense... the defense is bad and really was not addressed. Let's be honest. The interior defensive line was not addressed. I know Darth Raider alluded to that, as well as cornerbacks. I know we got Marcus Peterson late, guys, and it's like one of those things like KJ Wright we got a couple years ago. It's like nobody else wanted him, so we got him. So it's not like he's going to be the savior here. But I mean, definitely improvement to this room, but that doesn't mean we're going to have a good cornerback room. Let's see. I got a question from Art White. Art asks, how many games we win if Jimmy G plays the whole season? I'm gonna go around 8 wins, 7 or 8 wins this year, even with Jimmy G. Jimmy G is not the kind of guy who's going to throw the ball 40 yards down the field. People look at Jimmy G. Oh, he's a winner. He went to a Super Bowl. Blah. Look at the stats. I even showed the stats when we got him. It's like I think he had like 9 postseason games. He averages like 150 yards passing per game. I think 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, or something like that. Not impressive stats. And for this team, he's going to have to get a lot of yards after catch. That can't happen. We've got some good weapons here, but I'm not going to give adulation for Jimmy G. He throws a 5-yard pass, and Devontae turns it into a 40-yard touchdown. Right, obviously. So I still think, especially with this defense, it's both sides of the ball here. The offensive line does look like it does look improved, which is a plus. That'll keep Jimmy G upright at least a few more games. But especially with Alex Bars, he's gone. Brandon Parker on IR again. I don't know. Why do we keep this guy around? I have no idea. Does he have pictures of Tommy Boy, Mark Davis? Something's up, because I don't see this whole thing with Brandon Parker. The past regime liked him too. This regime likes him. You see him playing, and he's god awful out there. So anyway, I think the offense is obviously in better shape than the defensive side of the ball. A lot of youth and a lot of kind of formulation going on the defensive side of the ball. Patrick Graham's going to have his hands full. We play Kansas City twice. We've got Minnesota, Buffalo. Those are all high-powered passing offenses. Good luck. That's all I'm going to say with that. So that said, we are at about an hour. Of course, I want to thank everybody for coming out. And, of course, those who are watching, especially not live, why aren't you here live? If you've gone this far, why not subscribe? Come with us here on the lives. We will be here on Sunday covering the game. Again, I can't show it here. Go to TikTok. I will hook it up. So far, so good on that. We will see about that. I will be here talking about the game live on YouTube on Sunday. That said, I want to thank everybody for coming out here and supporting the channel. And as always, go Raiders.
Ask you something. With all the distractions that you have off the field, how are you able to keep focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the years?
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. you have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.